Skewb Finals.
Yes, just about to get started shortly. All the competitors are in the seats. Cubes are being delivered out to everyone. This is going to be really interesting. Big name to watch, Taj Bressert right here.
All right, so Taj getting started right now. Oh, I don't even know. That was not great.
That's a big DNF coming out from Taj.
I was a little bit worried. I think she's nervous because she started that timer really fast. I thought she didn't start the timer.
This was the problem at Euros. She triple DNF'd at Euros round 2 because she started the timer. She started the timer too soon.
Did she?
Yeah, that was a big story. The thing that I was going to mention is the big story is Taj Bressert, the female world record holder. Preethan and I were covering it a little bit earlier. It does have a bit of nerves. She does deal with that a little bit. The big thing to see is how it will affect her mindset and whether or not she can pull out the win at Western Championships and become the Western champion. I mean, she's definitely ahead, and she has the skill to do it.
Yeah, and the Western champion, like, she's not going to compete with Chris Chi for Western champion, but Jack Stewart for Western champion.
Exactly. And, you know, he's no pushover either. You know, 269 official average, 104. That's pretty good. Yeah. That's pretty good. It's the only difference is she's the female world record holder. Yeah. She has 225 official average, and you know, she's able to sub 3 without too much difficulty there either. So, but she really needs to just dial in and really focus. It's going to be really interesting for her because this is like the third competition back to back where she's put in a relatively high pressure situation. And at some point she's gonna need to learn how to perform if she wants to live up to the solves that she's able to get at other competitions.
Yeah, so we were talking about it with Arya and Pearson earlier, and how you need to have solve amnesia. You need to forget the first solve, if anything. And Taj, she's still learning. She's gonna have to learn that the next solve is gonna be her first solve.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. If there were any time to forget about a DNF, it is right now. This is Western's finals. Of course, it is not the national championship. It's not a Euros. It's not Worlds. But it still means a lot. You know, there's money on the line. There's a title on the line here, one that she could very easily get. Yep.
And Taj is actually about to start as well as Chris Chi. We're going to notice that Taj does usually have a GoPro, but she's opting to not record. It might be nerves related.
Honestly, that might be a good play for her here. She took a bit longer to start the timer. Kind of struggling a little bit the solution. 3, 4, 6. Obviously, she's understandably upset. I mean, just the execution errors.
Yeah, that is not a great time for her, considering that it's counting. All right, Taj has got to lock in right here. Excellent start.
Much better turning. And this looks okay. It should be okay.
I think that's okay, yeah. So the thing with Taj is that she's upset about it. She's got to let it go because the 239 is objectively good.
No, 239 is great. This is something that I think TJ and I have been trying to get into her head a little bit. She doesn't need to beat her PR. She just needs to beat everyone else. Yeah, that's the only thing that matters.
She needs to worry about. And her best solves are absolutely. It's going to take exactly what it needs to win.
Yeah. No, she can do it. She can do it. She has the capability of doing it too.
Yeah. Yeah, so Taj, again, needs to lock in. Just needs a great solve here. Good start, bad look ahead. But execution was good.
But see, that's the thing. Like, she paused a ton, and she still got 2-7 here.
She knows she sees light at the end of the tunnel right now.
Well, she still needs to lock in. It's not over for her,
She still needs to lock in, and unfortunately, she still probably needs to get her BPA.
Yeah,
but
she needs a BPA.
Chris Chi, he needs to do flawless solves. So Taj has got to lock in and figure out what to do next.
See, the game is different. Now, if Chris gets +2, it's completely open now. Yeah. Like, she can claw herself out of this right now.
Yeah.
But, so this is it. This is what everything is opened up now. You see the BPA, you see the WPA, and you see Taj's BPA.
And Taj, not doing too bad. Great execution.
Great. This is what she needed.
Exactly what she needed.
Exactly what she needed to do.
She clutched up with a 222.
That is exactly what she needed to do right here, and she got the job done. Now, she did everything in her power that she could have controlled. 287. This is an excellent start right now.
Yep.
She's ahead of everyone else in terms of number of solves done. Now all she can only wait.
We're just gonna have to see what happens. The cube is coming in, and again, we're looking for something around sub 3 seconds.
Yeah, he needs. If he subs 3s, I think he should be good in claiming the overall win.
I think a low 3 would also work.
A low 3 may also work.
Yeah. And this is high tension here.
Doesn't seem like there's a ton of good blocks here either that he can start off with.
Great start. He's a little bit shaky.
Oh my god.
And he loses it.
Chris
Chris Chi.
665 DNF.
not able.
He has worst possible
to
average
secure
here.
Man.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gents and folks of all orientations. Taj Bressert right now in the driver's seat. She has a 2.87. The only person who can catch her, Jack Stewart, cannot catch her. His best possible average, 2.90. Joel Kim, the only one who does not have 4 solves in. There's no way he's going to catch her. She's locked it up. This is absolutely massive for her. After a disappointing performance at North American Championships 2024, not even making it into finals at European Championships, this is on her home turf. She was able to defend it, and she was able to do so with her back against the wall.
Yep.
This is an average that she should look back at. Now, of course, it's not like the most spectacular average you've ever seen. Like, even she has better averages. But still, out of the rest of the competitors in the field, only 5 people even have a sub 3 average at all.
Yeah.
So she was able to do this with accounting 3. I think she did a fantastic job there. We have here Taj Bressert, the new Skewb Western champion. Taj, congratulations. Let's walk us through that average you had there. Let's start off with that DNF.
All right. So I saw it was a 2-move layer into hedge U-perm.
Okay.
And I one-looked it, but I rushed a bit on the last 2 moves, which caused me a DNF on a 239.
So the other thing that we had noticed there is you started the timer really, really early. And one thing I was really scared of was ending up similar to that Euro situation from last week, where like the weird timer malfunctions happened, but like not actually reproducible. Were you feeling really nervous going into that solve?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I know this is something that like you've been dealing with recently. And actually, we can talk about this as we go through. But basically, every solve, I'm just curious to hear about where your nerves were at, like whether you were able to kind of relax a little bit, or whether kind of put the pressure on. So after solve 1 DNF, what was kind of going through?
Well, I really thought I would not podium.
Yeah.
And definitely not be Western champion or win.
Mm-hmm.
And then on my second solve, I counted a 346, and
Yeah.
I kind of knew it was over.
Mm.
And then I think I got a 277.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Well, you had the 239 on solve 3.
Oh, 239. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
And then a 277, and then I knew this average would be sub.
Had a chance.
Yeah, it had a chance of winning.
Yeah.
And then I saw Christopher next to me. He was doing really well. He got like a bunch of mid 2s in the first few. I locked up really badly on the second one.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really nervous. But then he got a 4, and then in the last one I saw him get a 5 when I finished my average. So.
Yeah. You already done it. You actually finished your average before everyone else.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So exactly, that's exactly what happened. He started off pretty hot, 281, 262, then 261, and we're like, okay, well, this is gonna go really back and forth. But knowing the type of solver you are, and the the type of solving that you can do, I was like, okay, there is a possibility here, but just need to lock in a little bit. Is that also what was kind of going through your head? You're like, after the 239, like, okay, maybe.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. And after my 277, I knew that it was possible. And then the third scramble, I saw that it was, I like half one looked it kind of, and I saw that it was like a weird layer. It wasn't very great into a bad NS case. And it's one of the NS cases that are really bad, but I can do it very fast.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think I got a 224 on that.
On the very last one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got 222 on that one.
Oh,
that one.
Yeah,
So what's also really impressive to me is like watching through this average, right? The DNF, it was not very good turning. I think you may agree as well. And on the 3, also not fantastic turning.
My layer was good, and I got one of my favorite algs.
I think this sounds right. Because you said hedge into U-perm, right?
That was the first one.
That was you're talking about the second one?
Yeah, the second one, it's like you do 2 very satisfying moves and finish it off.
Okay.
And I just locked up really bad. I do that very often in comp. At home, I could probably get like a 1.9, 1.8 on that scram.
Okay. Yeah, so those 2, I would say like the turning was not very good.
Yeah.
Solve 3 and 4, I was really impressed by your solving, because I mean this I would say was pretty back against the wall type of situation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then what did you kind of do to kind of like convince yourself, okay, like you actually have a chance here on solves 3 and 4? I
didn't convince myself that much. I knew, well, it didn't happen, but I thought that I knew that I would not win at all.
So kind of like pressure off even.
Yeah, pressure off. I didn't really have too many nerves. It was like the Euro situation in round 1 for me. I had no nerves going into it. I got the exact same average actually. So yeah, I'm very happy, especially the last solve because that was like very awkward, but I executed it very well.
Yeah, so I think you probably didn't know this at the time at least, but you needed to BPA to have any chance actually of winning. I think you probably would have been on the podium. With anything sub 3 would have been onto the podium, but you needed to BPA in order to beat Chris at the time because you were on solve 5 and he'd only done 3 solves in.
Yeah.
So it was looking like even if he had gotten like a mid 2, it was pretty likely that he was gonna end up winning, just based on like the BPA calculations. So being able to get that 222, I don't know if you realize how insanely clutch that was.
Yeah,
to get that at the end.
I was very happy with that. Yeah, I don't know. I was very nervous because Jack Stewart, he's very good at Skewb too. He's very good at one looking. So I was pretty nervous for that. But the last scramble, it was really a scramble that I knew I could perform well on. And like, as you can see, not a lot of other people did really well on it.
I think you actually got the best time on it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you did. You got the best time.
Yeah, so I'm really happy with my performance.
Yeah. So I want you to talk a little bit about I want you to talk a little bit about like basically like the majors performance going into this, right? You can talk a little bit about NAC finals.
Yeah. Yeah, so finals, the first scram was pretty good. It was, I think, 5 moves into hedge, but it was very awkward, so I got a 1.8 on it. Then the rest of them were just like, they were good, but they were easy layers, but I found the NS cases pretty bad. So I think I got a 3.7 or 3.8 average on those.
Okay.
Actually in the second round, those scrambles were really nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know it at the time because I did very bad solutions and weird layers. So for the first 4, everyone was doing really well and I wasn't. And I was like, how is this happening? And then on the last scramble, it was 1 move into sledge, and then you cancel into double sledge. It was a 12 mover, but many people were getting like 1.5s on it. And then I locked up twice and got a 1.7, so that was kind of, I was pretty sad by that. And then at Euros first round, I was very happy with my performance. And then I think second round, the nerves really got to me.
Plus, there was that weird like timer situation as a whole.
I started with a 4+2, and then I got a DNF. And then I knew I had no chance of making finals. I needed to count like 2 1.5s.
Right, yeah, which is
very hard.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty nuts. I'm very happy to see you get like a big championship win at this point. Do you think it's kind of helped like your overall nerves a little bit? Because this is something we were talking about at Euros, right? Like, there's like a lot of nerves going into it, and it's tough to be able to kind of perform in these pressure situations. Do you think you have a better handle of how to do that now?
Yeah, actually, I think when I was in Costa Rica, I'm very surprised I got my those FWRs because it was kind of like an all-star setup. It was in a mall in the center, and there was a lot of like seats. And before Costa Rica, I hated being on stream. I would always try to get out of stream because I got super nervous. But then there were like so many cameras on me, and I kind of just lost all my nerves. And I just did really well. And then after that, the NAC first round, the upper camera, and like everybody watching, that really made me nervous. But after that, my nerves for Skewb have like dropped dramatically.
Okay, that's really good to hear. You're able to like kind of like settle into the situation a little bit.
Yeah, like if you look at my more recent averages, excluding the DNF, a lot of them have now been sub 3.
Yeah.
And I used to, it's actually my first sub 3 average in the Western region, which is really funny.
That is
because
actually really funny.
when I got my 269 average in November, it was a very hard mental barrier, and I could not break it. I couldn't even get a sub 3 average, like, ever. And then after I got my FWR, it was much more easy for me to perform well in high-pressure situations.
That's sick. I mean, I'm really, really glad to hear this. I mean, I heard one thing from TJ that, like, you still don't let your mom film your solves. You think you're going to let her do some filming now?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah?
My dad, actually, he was filming my first solve, and I got a DNF. So he said, I'm just going to go. I'm like, okay. Because, I don't know. I'm starting to film a lot of my solves with my GoPro.
Oh, yeah?
Skewb finals, I didn't do it, or Skewb first round, because I knew there were cameras on me already.
Sure,
so
yeah.
I didn't want to waste storage.
That was the reason? That's really funny.
So, I might have recorded one, but I don't think so. But, yeah, it was really fun.
Okay, well, look, I think it's great, and this is something that I think something that, like, at least TJ and I have been talking about for a while is, like, we've felt that, like, once you lock in, like, you're basically unstoppable. You're definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. Tell me about what you're thinking about going into Worlds for next year. I mean, you're definitely phase 1 qualifying for this already.
Yeah.
I mean, you're almost certainly going to go?
Yeah, I'm going. I think my goals really are to... I'm not sure if I can podium. I'm going to try to podium. But I think a top 5 or top 10 finish would be really nice. And I'm hoping to have a sub-2 average by that year and be top player.
Wow. I mean, that'll be very exciting. It does seem to be like a pretty interesting time for Skewb as a whole. You know, Carter recently had WR miss, and Dominic getting a WR2. I mean, your performance right now is looking pretty good as well. Just need to translate it over into the full competition space. I think it's going to be very exciting, Taj. Congratulations once again on becoming the Western champion. Excellent work.